What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. It is a warm, sunny Sunday, 28th of June still, 2026. We are here on the north side of the Polderbaan, which is now in use as primary runway for arrivals, together with the center runway today. It's a normal configuration for when the wind is blowing from the south. As you can see in the METAR, the wind is blowing from 220 degrees with 8 knots, and that is a lifesaver because otherwise it would have been pretty warm. We've had some rain, well, massive complex of thunder showers overnight. Things have cooled down a little. Obviously code red for the weather here in the Netherlands the last couple of days with above normal temperatures. Luckily, things are looking to normalize again in the upcoming weeks, with temperatures between 20 and 25 degrees Celsius. If all is well, it should stay dry, at least today, for the upcoming hours. We've got a great show in store today. If we look, we see that everything is working. If we go to flight radar, we can already see several 747s underway, 3 of them, and they are pretty close by. Looks like Atlas Air is going to be the first 747 arriving here, arriving from London. No, not from London, above London, but arriving from Miami. Similar Cargolux also arriving from Miami. 10:41 and 10:19, so within the hour already 2 747s we can expect. Yeah, it's 9:48 right now. In an hour from now, another Cargolux arriving from Nairobi. So that's 3 747s in the upcoming hour already. The Emirates A380, probably the last airplane for me for today, expected shortly before 1. So that too should, on paper, be a Polderbaan arrival. Obviously, the thumbnail and the airplane that I alluded to in the title, the KLM Orange Pride arriving from Vancouver, should be landing here on Polderbaan around 12:22 as it stands. More 747s are underway, but these are all expected in the late afternoon, if not early evening. Wind is blowing from the south-southwest. That is right in line for runway 22. Kaagbaan, as you can expect, is the primary runway for departures, and the Aalsmeerbaan runway 18 left is the secondary runway. It should not get above 25 or so today, so I'm thinking we're already at peak temperature for today, but I hope it's going to come true. We'll see. For now, let's get up from behind the laptop and go back to the camera controls. The next airplane is on final KLM flight 1028, arriving from Persenchester, a 737. In the meantime, a very good morning to all who have joined. Marja, goeie avond. Wolfgang, good morning, and welcome to the show, everybody else. I already saw that John Mackenzie from Hong Kong celebrated 29 months of membership. Congratulations and welcome back, John. Thank you so much for your long-lasting support. 29 months, that's 2 years and 5 months, if my math is correct. Incredible. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Congratulations. I hope that the lounge is still to your liking. If it isn't, John, do let me know what you feel needs to be improved, and let me see what I can do to make things better for you and all the other members. 29 months, John Mackenzie from Hong Kong. Thank you so much for your long-lasting support, my friend. Always a pleasure to have you in our chat. And that also goes for Klaus Reinders, who is celebrating 15 months of membership today. I'll give 5 months back for 10 degrees less. How bad is it in Bremen? It's scorching. It's been scorching. For those of you who are watching who aren't in Europe, it's been scorching hot in almost the entirety of Europe, with the exception of Scandinavia, I believe. I tell you, Scandinavia is going to become very popular in the upcoming decades, both for skiing, because it will probably be one of the last areas in the world where you can still do that in the winters in the upcoming decades, and also for the summers because it is too warm in the rest of Europe, or at least it is getting too warm in the rest of Europe. It is incredibly warm everywhere. Over here right now it is doable, but I think this is the exception to the rule. France, Germany, the UK, Spain, Portugal, Italy, they've all been baking in the sun and in the heat. Klaus, gefeliciteerd, congratulations. Thank you so much for your long-lasting support. I wish I could give you 10 degrees less temperature, but unfortunately I cannot. I hope that things will cool off for you guys pretty soon as well. This is KLM flight 1028, arriving from Persenchester. Wide bodies next after this. bodies next after this. John McKenzie also went ahead and he gifted no less than 20 flipping memberships. What the fuck? John, really, you didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, to the new members, 20 new members. Don't forget to say thank you to John if you are the recipient of one of his 20 gifted memberships. Have fun with the custom emojis now at your disposal for a month. Use them as a way to say thanks to the gifter. Great suggestion by Captain Jerry late a couple of weeks back. John, really, you didn't have to do that. Your long-lasting membership is already more than enough. Thank you so much for 20 gifted memberships, and a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, to the recipients of those gifted memberships. Now, a warm welcome to everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. Hope everybody is doing well. Look on Flight Radar. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide bodies coming this way. In the little patch of Flight Radar that I can see on half of my phone screen, with the other half being reserved for the live chat. And it doesn't look like there are narrow bodies in between either, so that's a nice way to start. What do we have here? It is a KLM A330-300, flight 628, arriving from Miami. Happy to see you guys in Florida. After that, another A330 arriving from Edmonton. Flight time for this one, 8 hours, 3 minutes. Karsten, good morning. John, good morning. Mark H, good morning, mate. Jillard, goedemorgen. Ronnie, Frans, Eindspatting, goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Marjan, goedemorgen. Arjan, goedemorgen. Yvonne, goedemorgen. Ronnie, goedemorgen. Hans Horst, goedemorgen. Peter, goedemorgen, kerel. Good to see you again. Ronald, goedemorgen, man. B-Dubs, goedemorgen. Barry, goedemorgen, kerel. Henk uit Hogeveen, goedemorgen, man. Good to see you all again. Eddie, goedemorgen. Good morning. Karsten, goedemorgen. Marianne is celebrating. Marianne, 1975, is celebrating 30 months of membership. That's 2.5 years, ladies and gentlemen. 30 months already. Time flies by so fast, she writes. You're absolutely right. Where does the time go? About a year from now, no, I think already more than a year ago, we had the NATO summit. And this, where I'm standing, was prohibited terrain. Another KLM A330-300 arriving from Edmonton, Canada. KLM flight 676. Now touching down after 8 hours and 6 minutes of flight. What's going to be next? It's going to be United Airlines with a Dreamliner arriving from San Francisco. Then another Dreamliner from KLM arriving from New York. JFK. After that, Turkish with an A330 arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. Marianne, thank you so much for 30 months of membership, and I hope it's still to your satisfaction. If it isn't, do let me know what you feel needs to be improved, and I'll see what I can do to make things better. 30 months and counting. It's always a pleasure to have you in our chat, and I hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come, Marianne. Monzi, good morning. Henrik and Roberto, ragazzi, good morning. Dalia, goedemorgen. Saim, goedemorgen, good morning. Kevin, good morning. Team Stripes 1971, good morning. Karsten, what are you doing, mate? Karsten 1976 went ahead. He just now gifted 10 memberships. 30 gifted memberships already, and I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership today will thank the gifter. 10 new members courtesy of Karsten. Thank you so much, my friend. You really didn't have to do this. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Those 10 new members, don't forget to have fun with the custom emojis. You'll have them at your disposal for a month. And don't forget to say thank you or dankeschön to Karsten if you are the recipient of a gifted membership. What's things looking like over there? To me it looks like the fences are no longer there, or are they? Hard to see from here. I could see cyclists earlier who were driving in the direction of the excrement bridge, and I didn't see them return, so I think, I'm guessing, but I haven't visited and seen it with my own eyes, I'm guessing that the cycling path once again has become accessible. Not sure if that's the case, but from here it sure looks like it. Either that or the fences are looking pretty pretty invisible. Time for United Airlines flight 968, and somewhere over there, yeah, there we can see it already, turning in is KLM flight 644, arriving from New York, JFK. And the third airplane in the bottom right, you can see approaching from the east. That is the Turkish A330 coming this way. Stefan, goedemorgen. Christa, goedemorgen. Manzi, good morning and congratulations. Manzi65 celebrating 14 months of membership. The fun continues, Manzi writes. I sure hope it does. Thank you so much for your ongoing support, Manzi. 14 months and counting. I hope the fun continues. If it no longer does, do let me know. And wingtips, boom, going down. Spoilers up, wingtips down. It is very simple. Hadi Marissa, goedemorgen, good to see you again. Hope all is well. The chat is moving very quickly. Henk, goedemorgen. Mark H, Mark, what are you doing? Mark also gifting memberships, 10 new members. Courtesy of Mark H just now, who gifted 10 memberships. You really didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much for your stupendous generosity. Mark H, who recently came over from Germany to visit. What was it, 4.5 hours of driving you wrote in the comment? I hope your way back was without any hindrance, no traffic jams or anything. Awesome bit of A380 he gave me as a gift. Skin of an A380, laminated. Like we have this this Indonesian thing we call spekkoek. It's also a cake layered. Each layer being very thin, and each slice consisting of, well, probably a few dozen layers. It reminded me of that, looking at the lamination. If you want to look, if you want to see what it looks like, if you go to Google and you type in SPEKKOEK, you'll find it. You'll find pictures of it. It's a laminated cake. Takes a lot of time to make. Very tasty. Flight 644, arrival from New York, JFK, 7879 Dreamliner. Anyway, Mark, thank you so much for 10 gifted memberships just now. You really didn't have to do that, mate. Incredible generosity. Thank you so much. Very good morning to everybody who joined in the meantime. Happy Sunday, hope everybody is doing well. Temperatures in the mid-20s already, but there is a little bit of a breeze and it should not get much higher than the temperature already has climbed to. Slight breeze, full as well. The electronics should continue to function thanks to Lewis solar umbrella, which on days like today is a lifesaver. Next up, Turkish flight 1951 arriving from Istanbul. An infamous flight number on an infamous final. I think it's right about there where the accident happened back in the day. Jillard Kraak is celebrating two things today. A membership anniversary of 13 months, lucky 13 for him, and his birthday. Congratulations, gefeliciteerd. Both with the membership anniversary and with your anniversary, with your birthday. Gefeliciteerd man. Jillard Kraak, always a pleasure to have you in our chat, and I hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come. But you are definitely excused to be celebrating your birthday today and not joining us for the entire duration of the stream. That's the wake. Oh, and I also see that Bastiaan Broere is celebrating his birthday, 12 years. Congratulations, Bastiaan. Mara Naomi, goedemorgen. Thibault, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. Peter Jongeneel, goedemorgen man. Welcome back. Happy Sunday. Hope nobody is melting away as we speak. Incredible warmth. Not just in the live chat, but also in Europe, where a lot of our viewers are based. Delta Airlines Flight 56 arriving from Salt Lake City, Utah. Up next, it's an A330 Neo. 9 hours and 8 minutes on the way to November 427 Delta X-Ray. 2 years old, first flight December 2023. Mr. DLU is referring to a different airplane disaster than what I am referring to. Naamgenoot boy. Today K2, K3 -1, K2. Are you coming this way? Is this K2? Is this boy? Are you coming this way? Right, for those of you who joined later, welcome to the show. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are here at Polderbaan awaiting the Orange Pride. But before that, we are going to get 3 Boeing 747s. A quick screen-in, screen look at Flight Radar right now tells us that the first 747 is crossing the Gulf of Yorkshire and should be here in 15 minutes. Atlas Air arriving from Miami, followed by Cargolux arriving from Miami, or is it Cargolux from Nairobi? This has an ETA of 10:45 and this has an ETA of 10:49. Well, there you go. 3 747s expected shortly. The KLM Orange Pride is flying over the ocean and is expected now at 12:20 or around. And Emirates A380 is making up time. Its ETA was 12:54 before and now it's 12:52. That makes it a candidate for Polderbaan. A reload. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah. Let me go and fix that first. Click away the ads. There we go. Current status quo. Latest METAR says 25 degrees C. That's around 80 F. Southwest wind, 9 knots, and it's KVK otherwise, so not much to write home about. Let me also update the ticker with the latest METAR. Don't think much is going to change other than the temperature. It's going to stay KVK most likely. The wind is probably going to stay blowing from the southwest. It's just the temperature that will continue to climb. Our next arrival is a Bombardier C-Series 300 from Croatia Airlines. It's turning final. Where did I see that just now? Above the fence work. The speed, the matrix signs of the highway. Gertine en Jacqueline, goedemorgen. No ducky jet, Peter? Nope. Though they are present over here. We've seen them before. Right now it is still calm here in the water. The entirety of the canal. Or... yeah, no. Nothing to see. Here we have boy. Another boy. K2. Also in the live chat. The Stream Deck is still working, Wolfgang. It's just that the Stream Deck software doesn't recognize EHAM Live. So, although the machine itself is working, it doesn't recognize that the app, what that is supposed to be working, and from which it should be sending the sound effects. It doesn't recognize it. I've looked into it again, but still. I haven't been able to find a solution for it. So I have a working Stream Deck that my software doesn't recognize, but my software doesn't recognize EHAM Live. Now it also says in the control panel that you can, it says start EHAM Live or play and then the MP3. And even though I've assigned the right MP3, it still doesn't want to play the music, so annoying indeed. Croatian Airlines flight 450 arriving from Zagreb. 8-2300, aka Bombardier C-Series 300. Daniel, goedemorgen. Hey, Tom, goedemorgen. Long time no see, mate. Marijke, goedemorgen. Mr. Singleton, goedemorgen. Hans, goedemorgen. Welcome back, guys. Happy Sunday. It's good to see that you guys haven't molten away. AMS Live viewers are very resilient. Congratulations on that. This is KLM flight 592, arrival from Johannesburg, and that is in South Africa. Still have the keyboard on my computer. Old school, the way we used to do it for years. It is a 777-300. 10 hours and 36 minutes on the way, the BVF. Ah, Honda, good to see you again, mate. Busy period for Ton. I know the feeling. It's good to have you back, mate. Hope you've been well in the meantime. It's the AMS Live vodka that makes us so resilient, says John. Oh, that's a good... speaking of vodka, let me take a sip. I've only brought 1.5 liters. I hope it will suffice. AMS Live vodka with all the crucial vitamins and minerals that one needs in periods of heat. Lars, goedemorgen man. Prachi Pande, good morning. Hope you guys like Dreamliners because there are 2 on final. In the foreground, KLM flight 668 arriving from Austin in Texas, and behind it is Air Canada flight 900 arriving from Montreal. Flapper on, flappering. Elevator elevating. Peter K, goedemorgen, good morning. Good to see you, mate. Already 37.5 degrees at Peter K's. Is there anybody who can trump that? Well, I hope not. That is incredibly warm. How is the heat in Slovakia typically, Peter? Is it humid or is it dry heat? Here it's almost always very humid, which makes it even less bearable than if, for instance, you went to the south, to the Middle East, where the heat is more arid. Hunter Cat, good morning. Davy, goedemorgen man. Happy Sunday. Patrick asks about the cycling path. I am not sure, but I have been seeing cyclists going in the direction of the excrement bridge without returning on a few occasions now. So my guess is that the cycling path is open again. Yet, so I don't know for sure, but it's certainly looking like it. Come to New Zealand, says Maria. It's only 11C here. Winter has begun, hasn't it? Still pretty decent temperatures for winter. Ooh. 6 months from now, and it's well, it'll already been past Christmas. Will be in the days between Christmas and New Year's Eve. The fireworks sales would begin in 6 months from now, if it weren't or isn't going to be prohibited. I'm not sure if it has already been now formally, or if they're still planning on doing that. Anyway. Hunter Cat says it's only 13C here in South Australia, which is okay for winter. I would call that more than okay. Those are pretty decent temperatures. Bookie Meow, good to see you again. Welcome back. Stefan Tudor, good morning, mate. Stefan Tudor immediately went ahead, started gifting memberships as well. Really, mate, you really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for your incredible generosity there. 5 gifted memberships by Stefan Tudor. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. To the new members, don't forget to say thank you to Stefan and have fun with the membership. Why? That's why. Waarom? Daarom. Daarom, flight 361 arriving from Bucharest. They used to fly A318s quite regularly. Now it's just 737s, mostly. The bigger sibling of the baby bus is the A319, and that's coming next, arriving from London Luton, EasyJet, flight 22515. Look away if you are Luton intolerant. Just a small heads up. It might invoke cramps if you are Luton intolerant, this next flight. It will pass in a few minutes, so bear with me. After that, more narrow bodies, more A319s as well. In fact, 2 airplanes back, another one. Or more rather, a KLM Embraer 175 sandwiched in between 2 A319s from EasyJet. EasyJet flight 22515 arriving from London Luton, aka Celiac City. Departure from runway 24 in the background, the Kaagbaan. For those of you wondering, the firefighters already did their patrol round. As I was walking up here, they already passed by the northern threshold, which is where I'm currently filming from. Firefighters were early. My god, it's been weeks since I've last been here, regardless of the location. North or south of the excrement bridge, but must be a month or so at least, if not more. Next up is KLM flight 1352, arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic. That's an Embraer 175. After that, indeed another EasyJet arriving from Gatwick, an A319. Then an EasyJet A320, which is also already visible at the 11 o'clock of the lantern, arriving from Bristol. And after that, the 747, which is turning final. Are we able to see it yet? It should be visible over there. Ah, there it is. There it is. Gotcha. First 747 of the show. Atlas Air arrived from Miami, Florida. That's the 7478. And now number 3, I think, on the glide slope to be coming this way. Slowly but surely. We missed the Embraer 175 because I was filming the 747. Next up, an A319 arriving from Gatwick, EasyJet, flight 28674, and on its left, EasyJet arriving from Bristol. In the meantime, the chat has gotten very busy. Jillard Kraak just now went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. Incredible generosity by Jillard as well. Thank you so much, mate. You really didn't have to do that. On your birthday, it should be you who should be receiving presents and not members who receive a gifted membership from you. I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership from you will say thank you for it and will enjoy the custom emojis they have now at their disposal for a month. Jillard, gefeliciteerd once again with your birthday. Happy birthday and thank you so much. 5 gifted memberships just now. More highlighted messages after that. Davy Melis is celebrating 4 months of membership. 4 months and counting, he writes. Congratulations, gefeliciteerd Davy. Hope you're surviving the heat somewhat decently. It's always a pleasure to have you in our midst. And I hope you'll stick around for many more months to come. If not in the lounge as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. It's always a pleasure to have you in our midst. Congratulations and thank you for the support thus far, Davy Melis. 4 months of membership. In the meantime, Rakete88, Guten Morgen. And Tina, Goedemorgen. Stefan Tudor went ahead, gifted a super chat in loving memory of Tarom, happy 70-year livery, who has been retired on June 23rd this week after 25 years of service. And the SkyTeam livery was also retired. So that's another one that we're not going to see. Now, from now on, if we see a SkyTeam 737, no longer do we have to think or have to double check, is it KLM or is it Tarom? because Tarom had the 737-700 in SkyTeam livery. It's going to be KLM from now on. EasyJet arrived from Bristol. We'll leave that for what it is and focus on the first 747 of the show with 2 more in the upcoming half hour. A massive big thanks to Stefan Tudor for a super chat. You really didn't have to use a super chat for your message, but thank you so much for doing it anyway. Also a massive big thanks to B-Dubs, who went ahead and gifted a membership, and it's Tonton who is the recipient. Welcome to the Aurora Skylines, Tonton, and thank you so much, B-Dubs. Also, Jerome, aka Captain Jerry Donnelly, is back in the chat. What up, my friend? It's good to see you again. Perfect timing, a day with glide slope shots, and what an airplane as number 1. Atlas Air Flight 5421 arriving from Miami, Florida, tracked by 558 people on flight radar, making it number 7. Surely we can get it in the top 5, can't we? 8 hours and 15 minutes on the way, the November 852 Gin Tonic, 13 years old, first flight September 2012. And also a massive big thanks to Captain Jerry for just now going ahead and gifting 10 memberships. That is incredible generosity. And in addition to that, Mark H topped it with 20 more gifted memberships. Guys, let's listen to the 747 first. First things first. Come on, reverse, reverse. Oh yeah, just a little bit. Well, the bar has been set, but in the audio department, I think it can be topped easily. Whoa, yeah, maybe standing here makes the reverse sound a bit less loud, but you could definitely hear them spool down. It definitely used its reversers, but I'm not sure if it was full reverse thrust. As I was saying, memberships gifted by Captain Jerry and by Mark H. Again, gentlemen, both of you, so much generosity. Thank you, both of you. I hope that all the recipients of a gifted membership will say thank you to the gifter and enjoy the custom emojis that come with the membership. You'll have them at your disposal without any restraints for a whole month. Have fun with them. Once again, Jerome and Mark, both of you, thank you so much for such incredible generosity. Also a massive big thanks to B-Dubs for your super chats. Looks like Vegas is back on the menu, boys. Vegas is back on the menu? I must be missing something. I must be missing the reference. Vegas on the menu. Either that or I am seriously sleep deprived by the heat and I'm missing something obvious. But B-Dubs, thank you so much for your super chat. I'm not sure I'm missing. I think I'm missing the reference to Vegas. Ah, he is flying to Vegas tomorrow. KLM flight 635. Right, got it. Nice. Probably a bit warm. Bit warmer than here. Although probably less humidity, so that maybe makes it more bearable. I'm not sure it does. Flying out tomorrow with KL 635 and arriving back on July 10th, KLM flight 636. Well, congratulations on that, B-Dubs. Something nice to look forward to. A nice trip to a destination that is probably more warm than it is over here. But the question is, how bearable is it with the relative humidity? 35C in Vegas, says Jerome, so there you go. Hey Bas, goedemorgen. Either way, thank you so much for your super chat, mate. You really didn't have to use a super chat for that message. Okay, Malta, returning from Malta. And Atlas 747 in the background, vacating the Polderbaan area. 0% humidity is better than the Netherlands. 32C with 60% humidity. Absolutely right. Absolutely. At least you can transpire. No, not transpire. Perspirate? No. Sweat. Signs of dehydration. Not being able to find normal words. Hydration break. There's boy, K2. Or at least I think it's K2. Hard to read the number 2. Hey Floris, goedemorgen. Good to see you, mate. Flight 2302 arriving from Munich. Munich. Hope it's not going to get too warm over there in the upcoming week, and in Vienna, with Lisa going there on a vacation. Right, 1747 down and 2 more to go, coming pretty soon already. Let's have a quick look on Flight Radar to see where they are at the moment. So already we can see that they are approaching Schiphol, around equidistant from Schiphol, ETA 1046 and 1050. So on paper there is a slight chance that we might get to see them back to back. The mother of all glide slope shots is possible. In the meantime, a very warm welcome, literally and figuratively, warm welcome to Schiphol Airport. To all the new viewers who have joined later. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy. Sunday fun day, indeed it is. Temperatures in the mid-20s Celsius, 80s F, and a little bit of a breeze. Refreshing breeze over here from the southwest. Makes the Kaagbaan runway 24 the primary runway for departures, and Aalsmeerbaan 18 left the secondary. Primary runway for arrivals is this runway we are standing right next to. Runway 18 right, the Polderbaan. And this is KLM flight 598 arriving from Cape Town in South Africa. Drop 7300 after that we have an airplane arriving from Cartagena in Colombia. What? Am I going on vacation? Hurrah! Bye bye Lisa. And both cargo Luxus are assigned to the Polderbaan, says Marissa. That is good news. That is good news indeed. So, is there anybody in the chat who knows whether or not the cycling path is accessible? I think it is. Looking from here, it looks like things have opened up. The fences no longer seem to be there. Are they still there or aren't they? The cyclists that I have seen, and I'm also guessing that also will go for these two. I haven't seen any cyclists that cycled in this direction return. practicing for the Tour de France. Green shirt is seemingly taking the lead, but red shirt isn't letting go. Yeah, from here, insofar as we can see over there, things do look... Well, no, hey, this definitely looks like... Oh, it's a detour. So I do think that things are still locked down. There's a cycling path detour by the looks of it. KLM Flight 749 having returned from Cartagena in Colombia, which is right next to Ecuador. Super Zoom, says Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. Good to see that you haven't molten away with all the heat lately. So I think there's an arrow in the bottom right that points to the right. I think, and this is also a very ubiquitous, very ominous sign. It looks like things are still closed off, but the cyclists are being allowed to take a detour. There is another cycling path over there, if I recall correctly, and that basically sends you to the new gas station at the roundabout near Vijfhuizen. So it's looking like the cycling path is still closed off, and you still have to either stay here or take a detour. Tarom up next. No, not Tarom, Letem. 5 letters, but in a bit different composition. Letem Airways flight 8078 arriving from Sao Paulo, 7879 Dreamliner. Hey, El Mustafa, good to see you again, mate. In the meantime, a massive big thanks to Captain Jerry for a super chat glide slope Viagra. Well, let's have a look on at the glide slope, shall we? There's a bank robber coming in. Hide the money. There's also a Chinese triple coming this way. But before that, we'll see 2 or 3 narrow bodies. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think KLM Flight 1002 will probably be turning in before the triple will. Just says, it was fucking close, I can tell you. There may have been reclining in my office chair covered by a wet towel on a couple of occasions. Yeah, it's been tremendously warm, hasn't it? And still it's ongoing. Over here today in the Netherlands, it's cooling down, relatively speaking, but already the temperatures are in the mid-20s, but that's still 10 to 15 degrees less than it was yesterday and the day before yesterday particularly. Here in the west, yesterday already it was relatively cool, but it was really the coastal areas. Yesterday we had rain showers passing over the North Sea, and if you live near the coast like I am, it was quite spectacular to see. You could see thunder, lightning striking west of you. But it also brought in relatively cool air, so the entire day it was around 28 C, which is much cooler than it was land inward. Lucky break. But it should get cooler for the entirety of the Netherlands in upcoming weeks. Or at least upcoming week. We'll see. Veronique, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. Welcome back. And Bas is celebrating 13 months of membership. Another month. Let's keep going, he writes. Thank you so much and congratulations, Bas. 13 months and counting. Hope that the 13 months have been to your satisfaction thus far. If that's not the case, do speak up and let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better for you and all the other members. It's always a pleasure to have you in our midst, Bas. And I hope you'll keep coming back for a long time to come. 13 months of membership for Bas. Congratulations and thanks for the support, mate. 3 airplanes on the glide slope already. The 4th is overshooting a little. That's a wide body 777, which I'm trying to locate. But I am unable to. We'll see it soon enough though. For now, let's focus on what we can see best, and that is El Al Flight 337, arrival from Tel Aviv. 737-900, 4 hours and 22 minutes underway. I'm always checking the bottom of the fuselage to see any irregular protrusions that might be indicative of a anti-missile system. A few of them are equipped with them, or at least visible on the outside. We've seen it on a few occasions. Jerome says, I thought all of the Netherlands was coastal. Well, on a grand scale, of course it is. You could consider the Netherlands to be the coastal area of Europe. Here in the Netherlands, we use a bit of a stricter definition for what is considered to be a coastal area of the country and what is land inward. Lars OE, goedemorgen, herzlich willkommen, servus. Welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy, this is the Polderbaan, runway 18 right, primary runway for arrivals, 1747 in the pocket, 2 more underway, the A380 is 2, and of course the orange Pride that you could already see in the title and the thumbnail. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't already, yeah. Reversers being used by WestJet. WestJet, allegedly the best jet. How much longer are they coming to Schiphol? Because I read that they were going to pull the plug at some point in the nearby future. I don't remember exactly when that was supposed to be. Next up, an A321neo arrival from London Heathrow. After that, a Chinese triple, which now should be on final. And yes, there it is. We can see it. Looking at where the 747s are at, we aren't going to get a mother of all glide slope shots with 2 back-to-back 747s. There is already a 737 flying in front of the cargo luxury arrival from Nairobi. Which is going to make it impossible for a back-to-back arrival. First 747 to be landing next is starting final and is arriving from Miami. The cargo luxury arrival from Nairobi is still over Marco Meer, the body of water, to the east of Schiphol Airport. Overhead traffic, is that outbound or is that inbound? I think it might be outbound. It's probably outbound, isn't it? Air Baltic. Going back to the Baltic states. Or Finland. 777 time. Cargo 777. This is China Cargo Airlines Flight 209. Which is arriving from Shanghai in China. Wind is picking up here, lovely. Makes it very, very decently doable here. It also keeps away the bugs. A few already bit me. Not sure what they are, but the wind is keeping them away at least. In the meantime, Anaconda, aka Flores, is celebrating 29 months of membership, 29 months pure aviation fun. Thanks, boy and mods, he writes. Flores, mate, thank you so much and congratulations on your long-lasting support. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat, and even more when you come over. You're still enjoying the shows, and I hope you're going to continue going forward. If anything is amiss, do let me know. I'm always open for suggestions. Chinese Schiphol, 10 hours 45 minutes, now touching down with the nose gear 2. New airplane, the Bravo 227 Golf. There's some reversers as well. Adion, goedemorgen. Flying Tinus, goedemorgen. Ivo, goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let's turn around. Hans says they're called the boy bug. Never heard of them, boy. No, didn't hear of them before, but I did feel them. At first glance, they were looking a bit like moths. I'm not sure if moths are known to bite humans, but anyway. Wind is keeping them away, so keeping them at bay. That's good. Next up, cargo Lux arriving from Miami, Florida. 747-400, 748 underway. 7 hours and 48 minutes if you look on flight radar. But this is a 744. It's the LXKCL Lima X-ray Kilo Charlie Lima. It's an 18-year-old, first flight February 2008. Queen number 2 and number 3 is not far away. Are we able to see her in the background, I wonder? With a little bit of luck. Martin, good morning. Brian, Spekbig, good morning, lads. Well, I think from this location it's just hard to hear the reversers. I do believe they were deployed, but it's not as loud as when you're a bit closer by, of course. We are a bit further away. Makes for nice shots from up close, but of course the rollout you don't get to see. It's always a trade-off. For the time being, I don't think we can return to the cycling path and to the excrement bridge just yet. For those of you tuning in later, I was following a few cyclists on the cycling path, and then I spotted these signs all of a sudden. Well, sign on the far left is very clear and universally known, I think. And over there on the right you can see it is basically directing cyclists to the right. So from here it looks like the cycling path is still closed until the excrement bridge. If I recall correctly, it was set to be until July 17th or so. I think from the second half of July onward we should be able to get access again to the Polderbaan from there, but not sure. We'll see. Joop, goedemorgen. En Kronert, goedemorgen. Ah, paardenvliegen. Dazen. They were 1.5 centimeters to 2 centimeters, I'd say, if I had to guess their length. Anyway, Geeky Hermit joined at perfect timing indeed. Another 747 now as number 2. Michael, good morning. That surfer already said hi. Welcome to the show, everybody else. Hey Dodo, goedemorgen kerel. Good to see you again, mate. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. 747 number 3 is on final as number 2. If you are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. It's time for a hydration break. Where's this? What's the shortcut for the sound effect for that? Do I have one? Not sure. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're not following the airplane that is passing by right now. KLM 737. Hey Thomas, good morning mate. Milan, goedemorgen. Perfect timing guys. Cargolux flight 315 arrived from Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya. That's a country in... Flight time has been 8 hours and 3 minutes. It is a 747-400. Its registration is Lima X-Ray Yankee Charlie Victor. This is what it looks like a bit zoomed out. The next airplane's in the distance, at a respectable distance. Enough spatial separation for the wake turbulence of the 747 to dissipate sufficiently. This is a 747, 17 years old. First flight was in July 2008. Iberia A320 is following it, so it needs to be spatially separated sufficiently. Otherwise, they will be in for a bumpy and potentially dangerous ride. Gnarly. This one has Rolls-Royce engines, doesn't it? Quite special sound. It sounded differently than different from the other two. Danny, goedemorgen. Farley, good morning, goedemorgen. Dennis, goedemorgen. Peter PV1, goedemorgen. Well, it's 10:49, so in 10 or so minutes from now, since we haven't begun with parallel arrivals yet, I am expecting it will begin in 10 minutes from now. Looking on Flight Radar, you can already see quite a few airplanes that are arriving from both the west and the east. Pretty soon, I think everything arriving from the east will be going to the center runway. I'm not sure if the Chinese triple will be coming this way or if that will be the first one going to the center runway. Either way, there are wide bodies also arriving from the west, so they will be coming this way. Dodo says you are very far up the runway this time, too much construction at the regular place. Well, you're still not allowed to get there, mate. At least from what we can see over here, the cycling path still seems to be closed off. Here you can also see somebody on a moped is being redirected. I didn't want to waste time going to the Polderbaan parking lot and finding out you still weren't able to get up the cycling path, so I went to the north directly. From what I can see over here, it looks like things are still closed off over there. Bernd, guten Morgen, herzlich willkommen. Hope you were in time to see the 747s just now. This is 747 number 3. We already saw 2 earlier today. The number 2 was only 5 minutes earlier than this one. Ah yes, well, cycling path has been closed off now, and if I recall correctly, it was supposed to be closed until mid-July or so. Rolls-Royce engines indeed, Avanti Broeders. Thanks for the information. They did sound special. Ken Manuela, good evening. Welcome back. Dennis, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. I am looking to the west because airplanes are flying downwind. Delta. I think I have. I think I did. Either that or it is the KLM. Let's have a quick look. Nah, that's the Delta, alright. Delta A330, flight 162, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota, flying to the north on its downwind leg of the traffic pattern, inbound for the Polderbaan. Small airplane and a big airplane behind it. The Chinese triple is still coming this way. Probably the last arriving from the east that is coming to the Polderbaan. Already we can see that the Aegean arriving from Athens that was behind the Chinese triple is now on the glide slope to the center runway. Parallel arrivals, again in progress. Till July 17th, says Tina, there you go. Hey Maxime, goedemorgen, good to see you again. It's good to see that everybody is still living and, well, I'd like to say thriving, but that is jumping to conclusions. Using my jumping to conclusions mapped. At least you guys are survivors, surviving the heat here. Make sure you guys drink enough water and vodka to stay cool and hydrated. Alrighty, that was a Transavia, interestingly, an A320 by Aviation Express, arriving from Vilnius. Next up, a Chinese triple, Trans-Southern Cargo, arriving from Shanghai in China. And Bernd Jot, as they would say in auf Deutsch, is celebrating 18 months of membership. Thanks for the great pictures every Sundays, he writes. Thank you so much for the kind words and for your long-lasting support, Bernd. 1.5 years in the pocket, and I hope it's still to your satisfaction. If the membership is for some reason no longer to your satisfaction, do let me know. Congratulations, Bernd, and thank you so much for 18 months of membership. And thank you for the kind words as well. Hey there, Dinesh. Goedemorgen. Good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. Parallel arrivals have commenced, with Aegean Flight 3624 being the first A321neo and airplane, period, to be going to the center runway. Obviously, from here, the view isn't very different than from a bit further south. The airplanes are flying parallel to the center runway, and we can see that quite well from over here. In the meantime, KLM Flight 696 is coming this way. That's a 777-200 arriving from Toronto. There it is. Everybody in the background coming this way. Let's see, Sky Express number 2 on the center glide slope. And the Delta I was spotting a few months back is turning final. Should be number 3. There it is. As you can see, runway 24, the Polderbaan in use for departures, which is normal for when the wind is blowing from the south. The wind today is blowing from the southwest and is providing a nice refreshing breeze. Temperatures, last time I checked the meter, was in the mid 20 Celsius, around 80 Fahrenheit. And with the wind, it's pretty decently doable over here. Very good morning to everybody who joined. Rowdy, good morning. And the kids. Jeffrey S, goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome to the show, everybody else. KLM flight 1404 is going to be arriving here on the Polderbaan next. And over there we have Sky Express flight 7100. Does it still say Greece is bliss? It does. A bit presumptuous. It hasn't been demonstrated to be factually true. Technically speaking. Well, and boy in K2 is finding the edge of the terrain. That's why those guys are driving in Raptors to be off-roading. Delta is now number 2, and over here in the foreground, KLM 1404 arriving from Paris, 737-800. Hadi Erik, goedemorgen. Ahmed, good morning, goedemorgen. Mackenzie Photography, good day. And welcome to the channel, everybody who may have joined in the meantime as well. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated when people do say hi and where they're from. If you have a question, don't be shy and feel free to ask any questions you may be having. Quite a few people are watching. It's a friendly bunch, and together we know a lot, or at least I'd like to think we do. So don't be afraid to ask any questions you may be having. And don't forget, if you are enjoying the show, leave a like if you haven't already. It will help the channel grow. Mostly blue skies. In the south I can see some clouds forming. I'll show you when the camera naturally follows the Delta in that direction. Delta Airlines Flight 162 over here, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. A330-300. 747 hours underway, 7 hours and 47 minutes. It's the November 810 November Whiskey. It's 21 years old. Its first flight was in May 2005. My car is from October 2005. It's almost as old as my car. No, it's a bit older. My car is almost as old as this A330. Bada bing, bada boom. Peter PDK, goedemorgen. Good to see you again. The cloudiness that is forming over there to the south. The rest of the sky is mostly clear. This is looking to the south. This is what things look like to the west. Also mostly blue. Some veils further up ahead. This is looking land inward to the east. That too is looking mostly blue. At the horizon perhaps a little bit. There is a nimbocumulus over here. Scorchio otherwise. And of course, looking to the north, things look like so. I also see a crane that is probably attached to a boat of sorts in the port of Amsterdam. Next airplane arriving here is KLM flight 1918, arriving from Zurich, 737-700. Danny, goedemorgen. JRN Son, good morning. Ah, Mac. Man's Mac Photography. Mac, welcome back. Check. Market Mike, good morning guys. Begum asks, until how late will you stream? At least until the A380 has landed. Plan to stick around until then. Let's see. Okay, no traffic going this way right away. Is the A350 coming to the Polderbaan, or is that going to the center runway, and are they going to do a runway inspection? The A350 just went behind the tree and should be getting out. There it is already. The World to Fly Command on A350 returning from Willemstad, Curaçao. There it is. It hasn't passed already, or has it? Ah, yes, there it is. C-Box! Well, let's see. Here are the traffic lights, the approach lights. Yeah, you cannot see it from over here, but on the other side there's a field of wheat. The wheat is already getting really nice and yellow over here. Will probably be harvested pretty soon. Potato fields are already the potato plants are flowering, are blooming. It's always nice when you come over here. Well, at least in passing with the car when coming in from the south, you can see the agricultural lands and you can see the different crops coming to fruition, maturing. Lovely to see. Coming to the Polderbaan, says Marissa, thanks for looking that up. Yeah, for all we know, they're going to do a runway inspection, and all of a sudden the A350 was assigned to the center runway. Still looking around a little. Mac is back in Aurora Sky Lounge. Thank you for renewing your membership, mate. It's good to have you back. Should we continue to call you Mac, or is it now, have you become Sir Man's Mac Photography? Let's see, where is the A350? It is on final now, more or less. At least that's what Flight Radar says. I think it ought to be somewhere over there. Oh no, I'm wrong. It is actually over there. World to Flight Code on flight 5990? 5990, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. A350-900, the first of the show. That pesky little A350 from Finnair landed right as I was still setting up. That would have been the second. Quick hydration break. The World to Flight Corendon A350 has been flying for 8 hours and 35 minutes to get here. The gear is still up. This is the ECNZF, which is 3 years old. Its first flight was in May 2023. If you think, hey, it's looking very pixelated, that's because we're well into digital zoom now, almost 400 times. The full 400 times would be this. The camera also has the option to go to 800 times, which is bonkers and overkill. 400 is already more than anybody should ever want to use, but for things like this, when you want to see the gear extending like it is doing right now, it adds a little value. Obviously it's looking very pixelated, but we can at least see the gear deploy. And the hatch is closing again. And almost a bird strike, or at least visually. This is back to the top end of optical zoom, which equates to roughly 600 millimeters full frame equivalent. Zooming all the way back in, this is what my camera will show. So there you go. Telescope mode enabled. In the meantime, Hans looked into the crane vessel that we saw a few minutes ago. Can be the Les Alice from Jan de Nul. Jan the Zero. A crane ship presumably moored at one of the harbors of the port of one of the havens of the port of Amsterdam. In the meantime, Lance is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Happy Sunday. Good to see that you haven't molten away, or at least not completely. And a little girl, no, a woman, young woman, who is called Liza de Bijzer. Liza de Bijzer. Liza de Bijzer, 1997, is celebrating 24 months of membership. I'm blue, but congratulations on 2 years of membership, Liza de Bijzer. That sounds pretty gnarly. Liza de Bijzer. Congratulations and thank you so much for your ongoing support. It's nice to have you in our live chat. It's even more fun when I see you in real life. That will happen again soon enough. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. Always nice to have you in the chat. And even more fun when you're around in real life. Nice. I'm hearing the sound of an airplane that is passing overhead. I'm looking up. I don't see a contrail. I haven't, come to think of it, I haven't seen a single contrail today yet, looking up and around. Hey Jas, goedemorgen, good to see you again, mate. I'm definitely hearing the airplane that is passing by overhead. I'm looking all over the place, but I'm not seeing it. It doesn't look like the airplanes that are flying overhead are producing contrails today. Okay, most of traffic that is approaching Schiphol right now is on the glide slope to the center runway. That is because those are all airplanes arriving from the east. We need to look to the west to see what is going to be coming to the Polderbaan right now. The next airplane to be landing here looks to be KLM 1136. Arriving from Dublin, that's number 190, which is still flying base. Air Canada A330, fly the flag, Frankfurt to Toronto. Is that what passed overhead just now? Means I now need to look to the west to find it. I'm still not seeing it. I don't think it was producing a control at all. Infinity, goedemorgen man. Good to see you again. It's good to see that all of you haven't molten away, at least not completely, with all the excessive heat that at least many viewers who are viewing from Europe are have been encountering lately. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed 3 747s already. The KLM Orange Pride is still underway, as is the Emirates A380. It's a good moment now to have a look on Flight Radar to see where these two airplanes are at. So open up the screen in screen and start zooming out a little. We can see that the KLM Orange Pride is flying just west of Ireland and Northern Ireland. It is expected still to be here around 12:20, so that's in an hour and 5 minutes or so from now. The Emirates A380 is expected 10 minutes to 1, and that is good for us because if its ETA is before 1 o'clock, chances of it landing here on this runway we are standing right next to increase significantly. So as it stands right now, it looks like we'll see both of these arriving here on the Polderbaan before 1 o'clock. What has the temperature been doing? 26 degrees, so more or less stable at 25-26 degrees, 10 knots of wind. The wind is turning a little bit more westerly. It began as south-southwest, now it is west-southwest with a big degree of variation. KVK still, no visible impediments, no clouds, no rain, no mist, no nothing. Just wind and sunshine. I'm going to update the ticker as well with the latest meter, and then it is back to the camera controls. Marissa is signing off. I see in the chat she has other obligations. Thank you so much for joining, Marissa. Stay cool and enjoy the rest of your day, and I will happily see you again in the next one. Anyway, goedemorgen kerel, good to see you again. Welcome back and welcome to the show. Everybody else who may have joined. If this is your first time watching AMS Live and you're enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like. It will help the channel grow. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. The fact that quite a few people are watching shouldn't deter you from asking any questions. If you have any, it's a happy, friendly bunch here, and together we know quite a lot, I'd like to think. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to introduce yourself and say who you are and where you're from. It isn't mandatory. You can also just sit back and enjoy the footage. But we always enjoy knowing who is watching. It's an international crowd that is joining us from around the world. So feel free to say hi. But also feel free not to do that. Charlie Brown is tuning in from Orlando, Florida. Good to see you again, mate. Mitchell, good morning, goedemorgen. Long time no see, indeed. Volkzoon, goedemorgen. Yeah, the thunderstorm was very welcome indeed, Dodo. It was quite quite an interesting day for Dodo, Infinity and me. We all live in the same village. Earlier in the day, when we looked to the west, we could see thunder and lightning over the North Sea west of us. And in the evening, it was the other way around. It was to the east of us. And overnight, a big area of rain passed over overnight, around 4 o'clock or something. Woke me up, had the windows open, and I heard it. But that's cool. Is that boy coming this way? This boy still on duty. K2? Yeah, that's boy alright. Quick inspection of the runway. And then some. Stefan says in around 10 minutes, 7478 Lufty from Frankfurt to SFO overhead. I am not sure I'm going to be able to see it. Since I haven't been able to spot a single contrail today, I really need to look up at the right moment and be able to see the airplane as it flies in the vicinity of where I am, because I probably will not be able to see it in advance if it isn't producing a contrail, which I'm suspecting it won't be, because I haven't seen a single oh wait, no, spoke too soon. I am seeing the first contrail of the show. Twin jet passing north of me. Alrighty, up next. The Dork Hubby is tuning in from a Dutch guy watching in Hong Kong. Good evening, mate, and welcome to the show. And Ox H5N1 says absolutely no time for the stream today. Just came by to drop a like. See you. Thank you so much for dropping a like and coming in to say hi, mate. Hope you'll find time to join us in the nearby future during another upcoming stream. Hey, there's a lurk. Good to see you again, mate. Welcome back. Lufty 787 to Atlanta, there you go. I saw the announcement as well, Wolfgang. The A350, the KLM's first A350's first flight will be on Sunday to Toronto, set to leave at around 11:20, so on paper a very high likelihood of us being able to catch that departure. Now where, or there it is. Where's the glide slope? I come here so infrequently that I am always struggling to find the glide slope. Often not finding it initially. Right now it's quite easy to see. I'm hearing something overhead, I'm looking up. Hey, I do see something. It's not producing a contrail as I was expecting, but I am able to see it. It does look like Lufty. Yep, there it is. So high up in the zenith, I have to wait until it gets a bit lower before I'm able to zoom in on it. But there you go. I was hearing it. But as you can see, it's not producing a contrail. That one contrail I saw a few minutes back was the first and thus far only contrail I have spotted here today. Let's see, my tripod is no longer, or at least my tripod head is no longer completely level. The bubble being a little bit off center. Fixed that. There we go. Hey, check it out. Paul also is still alive and kicking. He is also not molten away yet. Good to see you again, Paul. Hope you're doing well, all things considered. It's of course very warm everywhere, and in the UK it hasn't been different. Hope you're doing well, mate. Happy Sunday. Good to see you again. Over here, temperatures in the mid 20s Celsius, that's around 80 Fahrenheit, and the wind is picking up. Double-digit wind speed, absolutely lovely. The waviness in the water is increasing. It's lovely weather. Yeah, the cloudiness that was in the south initially is drifting in, and it also seems to be increasing in size. The coverage is increasing. Means that it is going to get cloudy here at some point not too far in the future. Right now the sky is still blue where the sun is at, looking to the north. That is still the case, but the wind is blowing from the southwest today, which means that at least on ground level this is where we need to look. Still have the solar umbrella with clamp that Liwe and his wife gave as an anniversary gift, I think 2 years back or 1 year back, with me. That's a great aid in keeping the laptop tent with all the electronics decently cool, and the power supply as well. Parallel arrivals are still in progress and are going to continue for at least another 15 minutes. Around 11:40 is when the center runway should close again, and we should be back to getting all the traffic here on the Polderbaan until approximately 1 o'clock. Before then, the Orange Pride and the Emirates A380 are expected to land here. Fly Pigs, Air Oink Oink, arriving from Istanbul, A321 Neo. Flight time has been 3 hours and a minute. That's ballpark nominal. Well, no, it is nominal. Exactly on average. Milo asks about the cycling path. And Tina mentioned earlier that it was supposed to be closed until July 17th, so another 3 more weeks. And that is, of course, assuming they're not going to get delayed with the construction, which, if there is one tendency here in the Netherlands for construction, it is that they get delay. Just like with almost everything else in the world, aviation, maritime things. Flight 1428, arrival from Lyon. Oui, oui, Homme du Fromage. Embraer 175. Coming in. Customer asks how many big planes are coming to Schiphol. Quite a few, quite regularly. I don't know how many exactly, but we always get a lot of wide bodies, particularly in the morning hours and in the late afternoon, early evening. I think those are the two peak hours, morning and around local dinner time. Another control that I can see in the sky, over there, north of me, another twin jet. Yeah, what to make of it? What to make of it? I wonder what it is. Looking at the winglets, It looks like the Emirates A350. Ava in blue jeans tuning in from England, specifically saucy Worcestershire. Love your streams and the banter and the vodka. I'm happy to hear that, Ava. Nice of you to say hi, and I hope that everybody else in the chat is also enjoying the show. If you are, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already, if you want to help this channel grow. Jay Ramy is also back in the chat. Good to see you. Joey, goedemorgen. Nederlands elftal zit nog steeds in Amerika. The Dutch soccer squad, football squad is still in the United States. They are, aren't they? They are facing Morocco sometime in the upcoming week. Tuesday, if I recall correctly. I'm not following it actively, but I obviously am watching the news, and I thought they said the next match was on Tuesday. Might be mistaken, but anyway. Edwin, goedemorgen. Good to see you again, mate. Pete, what up, mate? And Mark confirming it was indeed the A350. Wouldn't it be nice if the Emirates A350 were to visit Schiphol at some point? I'm not sure if they are currently flying it to destinations other than Amsterdam exclusively, or if it is in the books that maybe one of these days one of the A350s is also coming to Schiphol. Guy Wilson is tuning in from St. Maarten. Good morning, mate. Up early already? Or up late still? Probably early. Transavia arriving from Barcelona, an A321neo, flight 5132. The backdrop is getting cloudy quickly. I think pretty soon we're not going to get sunshine over here anymore. Very floaty, lovely. Ah, Monday to Tuesday night. There you go. Thank you, Joey. So yeah, zooming out, you could already see it a little bit. Cloudiness is drifting in. It doesn't look like it's going to be very dense, but it is covering, or at least the part I'm now pointing the camera to is covering most of what it is covering. It's not open as it is over here. Hey, another contra over there. Should be over there. What's this? Oh. Alright guys, I need your help. What is this? That's not a DHL, is it? My initial thought was a DHL, but it wasn't looking like the delivery was yellow. More rather red or black or something. E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Brussels. Oh dear. The sun over here is beginning to stutter. First clouds drifting in. That will probably make it a bit cooler here. The subjective temperature. Ooh, stretch van. Small bus. Looks like one of those things that the people who fly bizjets are being brought to their airplanes in. Let's see, it is 11:30 right now. That means that in 50 minutes from now the KLM Orange Pride is landing here. It also means that in around 10 minutes from now Center Runway should close again, and we'll get all the inbound traffic once more until approximately 1 o'clock. It was DHL. Okay, thank you, buddy. I wasn't sure initially, but it did look a little like it was an all yellow airplane. Wasn't sure. You have to imagine that I'm standing here where it is sunny and I have all types of reflections on my little computer screen, my little camera screen. So I'm not seeing nearly as much detail as you guys are at home. KLM flight 1944 arriving from Basel, Edinburgh 175, and after that a KLM 737-900 arriving from Edinburgh. David Wolf, good to see you again. Hi and goodbye from down under. Just arrived at Coffs Harbour on our road trip to Hunter Valley. Wow, enjoy, David Wolf. Temperatures over there are at least more moderate than they are over here right now. Good to see you over there enjoying yourself, and I hope you'll give some reporting of your trip later when you have time for it. Hi Marcel, goedemorgen. Mr. F, good morning. Paul says the weather has been a bit intense. That's why I love you so much, mate. You're always very British and being very understated. That is such a Paul thing to say. Pretty intense, a little bit intense. A bit intense indeed. Have temperatures already dropped a little in the UK right now today? Over here in the Netherlands it's cooler than it was yesterday and the day before yesterday. I'm not sure about the neighboring countries. How is it in Belgium? How is it in Germany? How is it in Austria? Over here in the Netherlands, temperatures are set to stay at 20 to 25 degrees Celsius in the upcoming week, with the lows again dropping below 20 Celsius. So I hope that our homes can cool down a little bit again, having trapped so much warmth. Hey Dick, goedemorgen. Berend, goedemorgen. Patrick, goedemorgen. David Wolf says it's winter and tomorrow we'll have temperatures of just under 20 degrees. That is lovely, mate. Perfect activity weather. 20 to 25 C, that's optimal. 21 in Farnborough, that's better already, Martin. Happy to hear that for you guys. Freaking hot still in Austria, near 40, says Wolfgang. Mate, do you have aircon or something? Oh, the wind is blowing my clamp umbrella a little bit to the side. Let me move in and fix that quickly, so that it once again keeps the equipment dry, not dry, but in the shade. Let me see if I can turn that around a little bit, maybe up one notch, and tighten down the clamp a little bit. I'm always afraid whenever I am turning clamps and screws and whatnot that I overdo it. Usually in Dutch we say vast is vast, which means tight is tight, hand tight is sufficient. Shouldn't be more than that. Apparently I didn't tighten the clamp of the umbrella enough. Alright, so the sun is now starting to get behind the clouds that on second thought aren't as close as they seemed to be minutes ago. Now that they're actually drifting over, you can see there are still ample holes in them, so we'll probably get some nice intermittent sunshine. Vast is vast indeed, Dodo. "25 and breezing," says Peter. Goedemorgen, Nenoplat. Goedemorgen. 175, this one is arriving from Humberside. And after this, Delta Airlines Flight 48 arriving from New York, an A330neo. Just a solid home. Inside we have 26, 27 right now. That is good, mate. Good isolation. But yeah, you want to keep the doors and the windows shut. Don't want 40-degree air seeping in. Martin has to go. See you all later, he says. See you later, mate. Take care if you're going out. Don't be tripping. Red Raptor. I think that may well be a Red Raptor. And the Wegenwacht, the yellow van in the foreground. Dick van Leeuwen renewing his membership. Welcome back, Dick. Good to see you again in the lounge. We kept your seat cool. And thank you for the vote of confidence and renewing your membership. Welcome back, Dick van Leeuwen. Harry, goedemorgen. Harry is tuning in from Upper Austria. In Wartberg, under Krems, 33 degrees. What? Gurdeep, goedemorgen, good morning. Ooh, now that the sun is gone and the wind is blowing, it's nice and comfy over here. Nice and cool, actually. So, there's a bit of wind. And the sun is still out. It's going to shine intermittently here. It is 11:38, and am I seeing any traffic to the central runway anymore? No, I do not. Means that from now on until 1 o'clock, once again, 18 right, the Polderbaan, the runway that we are filming next to, is the main runway for arrivals. Means that all traffic coming in will be coming to this runway. Prachipande is a new subscriber. Welcome to the live chat, and thank you for subscribing, mate. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory to say hi, but it is always appreciated. And if you have a question, don't be shy and ask it. I feel like we're back to the beginning of the show with a flight from Persenchester coming in. This is an E2 Embraer KLM flight 1030. Big fat Karen cabin over there in the back. Emirates Sky Cargo has turned in indeed, Maxime. Right, David Wolf is signing off to grab a bite to eat. Enjoy, mate, and enjoy the rest of your trip. Let's see, SAS in the foreground, A320neo arriving from Oslo, Embraer 175 behind it, KLM arriving from Cardiff. And after that, Emirates, a 3 airplane glide slope shot, Emirates flight 9942, Emirates Sky Cargo arriving from Miami, Florida. And number 4 is flying base still, just over land now. Delta Airlines flight 136 arriving from Detroit. And that's another A330neo. 3 airplane glide slope shot. A320neo up first, SAS. Sassy airplane, 821 is its flight number, arriving from Oslo. An hour and 31 minutes on the way. Sorsby is the registration. Brand new airplane, will turn 1 next month. a crane that probably belongs to a vessel that is able to carry heavy loads. Next up, Embraer 175 from Cardiff, KLM, flight 1088, flight time 54 minutes. Cardiff, Wales, isn't it? Yeah, I think so. Rick Buijs asks in Dutch if it is correct that the Airbus Neo series are more quiet. Well, they definitely are more quiet than the non-Neo A320 series. They're definitely louder than my car, but they're definitely more quiet than their predecessors, which I think is what he was asking. I'm obviously just joking around a little. Hey, Chinese triple overhead. Outbound. No, it's not a triple, it's an A330. My bad. Airtronic Cargo and Emirates Sky Cargo is up next. That is a triple. Emirates Sky Cargo, flight 9942, arriving from Miami, 7 hours and 55 minutes on the way. Airplane a year old, first flight July 2024. In the meantime, 2 membership anniversaries. One from Rodney South, who is celebrating 19 months of membership. He writes, "Good morning, boy. Hope everyone is doing well." And another one from Sander Bram Shinobi. Getting closer, muahahaha. 31 months and counting he is celebrating. Lads, thank you both so much for your long-lasting support. I hope that to both of you, everything in the lounge is still very much to your satisfaction. If that's not the case, do let me know what needs to be improved in your opinion, and let me see what I can do to make things better. Both Rodney and Sander, to you I say, it's always a pleasure to have you in our chat, and I hope you guys will keep coming back for a long time to come. If not as a member in the lounge, then at least as regular recurring visitors. Congratulations on 19 months and on 31 months, Rodney and Sander. This is Delta Airlines flight 136 arriving from Detroit, Michigan. Almost 7 hours on the way, 6 hours 59. The November 430 Delta X-Ray. The airplane a year old, first flight August 2024, so this is almost turning 2. Nigel also back in the chat, good to see you, mate. Good to see that none of you have molten away in the immense heat we've been having here in the Netherlands and in Europe lately. Probably warm elsewhere in the world as well, isn't it? Orange Pride ETA 1225, A380 ETA 1248, says Maria. Thanks for the update there. The 2 airplanes of interest that are both expected to land here given their times of arrival. Obviously it's only a certainty if it has happened, but for now things do look promising. Time for a hydration break. Sip of vodka. First liter down and I'm still not feeling drunk. Let's see, the next airplane is a number 190 arriving from Stavanger, and the airplane behind it is turning in, approaching from the left. KLM flight 604 arriving from LAX, that's a 78710. Another Chinese triple is coming from Shanghai, turning to the west, set to cross Markermeer. Should be here in minutes. Maxim's car tires have merged with the asphalt due to the heat. I was also pleasantly surprised I was still able to get out of the parking place my car was parked in for the last couple of days. I also was afraid the tires might have fused with the street, but so far not yet. Hey, Andrew is also back. Lord Andrew celebrating 15 months of membership. Goedemorgen boy, roll on summer temperatures. Well, don't say that too loudly, mate. Careful what you wish for. Most of us are happy that the temperatures are moderating again in parts of Europe. Anyway, good to have you back, Andrew. It's good to see that you're still alive and kicking. So much for your support thus far, a year and 3 months already. Hope the membership is still to your satisfaction. If it isn't, do let me know, speak up. Let me see what I can do to make things better for you and the other members. This was of course the DTM special livery, the Deutsche Tourwagenmeisterschaft. German touring car racing. Sander asks if the tubes are still there. Well, from here it's hard to see. What I could see when I was following a few cyclists, I remarked earlier that I saw cyclists and I didn't see them returning. But right here you can see what's happening. There's a detour to the other cycling path that is also over here. And this sign says it all. Now, the fence seems to have been replaced by a general one. Over here I'm not seeing fence work anymore. Whether or not the tubes are fully under the ground already, it's hard to gauge from here. So I don't know for sure. The only thing I am able to say from here is that it looks like the cycling path is still closed, and Tina already mentioned earlier in the chat that it is still up for the fences are still up until July 17th. And that is to say, of course, assuming they don't get any delay. Banana on the move for departure, says Maxime. That's probably going to be taking off from Polderbaan, Kaagbaan, or from Alsmeerbaan, more likely, if it's going to Leipzig. We're not exactly positioned optimally here to see the departures today. Already when you're standing a bit further to the south, it's not that good. Now we're at the northwestmost point of Schiphol Airport. The little corner over there that you see, that's the northwestmost part of Schiphol. Schiphol terrain does not extend more to the northwest than it does over there. KLM flight 604 landed just now, 78710. The next wide body is already on final. Well, almost. Spoke too soon. It's turning final. The third airplane arriving here should be approaching somewhere from the left. Not sure if we can see it already. It's always hard to gauge based on what you see on flight radar to what extent it's already in the vicinity of the field of view. KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City. We'll see it soon enough though. This is KLM flight 1762. In the meantime, Arjan van Vught, what are you doing, mate? Arjan van Vught just now went ahead. He gifted 10 memberships. That is incredibly generous. You really didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much for doing it. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge to the 10 new members who just received a gifted membership from Arjan. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you to Arjan. Use a custom emoji in honor of receiving a gifted membership. That's a nice way of saying thanks. Have fun. Use those custom emojis that you have at your disposal for a month. Don't forget to say thank you to Arjan. Arjan, thank you so much for your generosity. 10 new members, courtesy of you. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, the new members. A lovely 3 airplane glide slope shot over there. With 2 wide bodies, 2 triples, following an Embraer. Marcus is celebrating. He has turned green. 12 months, a member now, and he writes 12 months, exclamation mark. Love your content, keep it up. Thank you so much for the kind words, Marcus. I'm happy to hear you're still enjoying. Hope everybody is. I hope you'll stick around for many more months to come. If not, in the lounge as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. Gefeliciteerd, Marcus. Congratulations and thank you so much. Ongoing support and a green badge for a year now. Embraer 190 German Airways flying on behalf of KLM. Flight 912 arriving from Aberdeen. Bizjet on final to runway 22. Not sure if I'm able to see it from here, because there are a bit more trees over there that might be in the way of being able to see it. And again, there are wide bodies coming this way, so I'm not going to try that much. The airplane is crabbing ever so slightly. KLM flight 758 arriving from Panama City. This is a 777-300. Registration Papa Hotel Bravo Victor Whiskey, the VW, BVW. 9 hours 40 minutes on the way. 5-year-old airplane. Its first flight January 2021. Gilles, goedemorgen man. Welcome back. That 777-300 whir, which you will also hear when a freighter passes by. Bada bing, bada boom. More arrivals, wonders about it. KLM Orange Pride, it should be here in 25 or so minutes from now. 12:20 to 12:25. That has been its ETA all the while. Emirates A380 will be arriving half an hour after that, so that will be here within the hour if all is well. Marco is tuning in from the Philippines. Goedemiddag, avond. Good afternoon to good evening. Rob Lerp is also back. Good to see you, Rob. Welcome back. If you joined us only just now, you may have missed the 3 747s that landed here earlier already, but you are still going to be in time for the Orange Pride, which will be here in 25 minutes, and within an hour, if all is well, the Emirates A380 is going to be landing here on the Polderbaan as well. Time for a Chinese triple. This is Air China Cargo Flight 1039, arrived from Shanghai in China. 10 hours, 38 minutes underway. Bravo 2097. It's a 12-year-old machine. Its first flight was in March 2014. Next after that, an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Berlin and an Embraer 190 arriving from Leeds. Rob seems to be surprised he also has a green badge. Didn't you have one before then? If not, congratulations! Make sure to highlight the to use a highlighted message and celebrate. Right, so I initially thought it was going to get more cloudy over here, but it turns out that those were only temporary clouds. Right now the sun is shining again, and looking in the direction the wind is blowing from, it is looking more open again than it was before. Not completely open, but still significantly more open than half an hour or so ago it looked like. The first few friendly clouds have now also reached the northern part of the skies of Schiphol. So it might also form a bit of a backdrop when having these glide slope shots. Krilla, goedemorgen, good morning. Welcome to the show. Hey, a quad with a contrail. What? Now, where did I see it? No, that's too high. Those clouds all look the same. Trying to locate the quad contrail, but it was passing past clouds. Now unfortunately all these clouds look very similar. Makes it a bit harder to find the right cloud, the right point of reference. But it was an A340-600 from Frankfurt to Washington. Thanks for looking that up, Stefan, and for sharing that information. More wide bodies, two more wide bodies before another, two more narrow bodies before another wide body. Paul wonders about the temperature. Have a look in the ticker and you'll find it. Let me renew it and take you through it. The meter in the ticker is the weather report updated twice an hour. Now this isn't the newest, but temperatures are pretty stable. It was 24 earlier, and in the report we're seeing right here, it's going to be 26. This is the weather report from 8:55 Zulu time. That's what it says initially after the EHAM, Schiphol abbreviation. 10 knots of wind from 240 degrees with the wind direction variable between 210 degrees and 310 degrees. Ceiling and visibility are okay. It's 26 degrees Celsius and the dew point is 19 degrees Celsius. We can go over to the latest METAR and visualization, and I can also take you through that. For those of you who don't know, pretty informative. So this is the latest METAR. It's now 13 knots of wind. The code, which I will update in the ticker lately in a few moments, is over here. The wind is directional from the west from 260 degrees, variable between 230 degrees and 300 degrees. 13 knots is the speed. The temperature is 26 Celsius. Clear, CAV okay, no ceiling, and 1017 is the air pressure in hectopascal. The wind picking up. This morning it began with just 8 knots of wind, then it became 10, now it has become 13. The wind is becoming more westerly as well, bringing some much needed refreshment here in the Netherlands. Updated the ticker. Let's go back to following the airplanes. We have an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Billund. Up next, KLM flight 1292, and behind it is an A330neo from Delta, flight 144 arriving from Seattle. Trevor Dial is tuning in from Perth in Australia. Good to see you again, mate. Welcome back. Marike, goedemorgen. Welcome to the show, everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. In 20 minutes from now, or probably a little bit less, we'll see the KLM Orange Pride, and within the hour, the Emirates A380 looking to be landing here on the Polderbaan. 3 747s already did. If you missed those, head back over, watch them in replay this morning. 2 cargo Luxus and 1 Atlas. Delta Airlines Flight 144 arriving from Seattle, Washington. 9 hours, 13 minutes on the way. 5-year-old airplane. Its first flight was in April 2021. Anytime, True Dial. Anytime. Now, wouldn't it be nice if one of the Kestrels were to seat here, have a seat? Thus far, not a single bird we have seen, no aquatic birds either. They are definitely around, though we haven't seen them yet, somewhat disappointingly. The approach lights are always a magnet for people. People parking up there. Up next is going to be a Transavia 737-800, which will be followed by a Transavia A321neo. After that, another 737 from KLM and a MAX 8737 from TUI. So we're back to narrow bodies o'clock. At least for the time being. JP Kraus, good to see you again. All birds were cooked by the heat wave. Yeah, that might well be the case. LT878, guten Tag. Und herzlich willkommen. Good to see you all having survived the heat wave thus far. Matt, goedemiddag. Good to see you again, mate. You're still watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are here at the the Polderbaan. I keep mixing them up. Whenever I'm at one, I say we're at the other, and vice versa. Don't do that on purpose to confuse you guys. This is the Polderbaan, right now the only runway for inbound traffic, 18 right. And this is Transavia flight 5792. Olaf, also back in the chat, says he had 43 in his car yesterday afternoon. 43 degrees Celsius. I think my car probably has heated up to something similar as well. It's really easy for cars to warm up during days like, well, yesterday. With the outside temperature already approaching 40 degrees. It's hard to keep things cool anywhere. You really need to lock your home, close the windows, keep the doors shut, use blinds on the outside if possible, and don't get too excited. Sit still, drink enough, take it easy. Martin is back. Henk, goeiedag. What is up, Alan? Good to see you again, mate. Evan, top of the morning, Senor Rodriguez. Hope you're doing well, mate. Welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. The outside temperature, says Olaf. Well, I don't think we've gotten to 40 other than in the southeast of the Netherlands, the Limburg area. The part that is closest to Germany and to Belgium. But it did come close in a lot of other parts of the Netherlands. For those of you who live outside of Europe, a heat wave has been tormenting Europe, most of Europe, and in areas still is. Right, it is 12:10, which means that in around 10 minutes or so from now, the KLM Orange Pride should be arriving here. The next widebody has turned final, KLM Flight 765, which is arriving from Bonn Air. Or at least it is almost on the glide slope. It's approaching. In front of it, an Embraer 190 arriving from Belfast in Northern Ireland, KLM Flight 948. And another peloton of riders practicing for the Tour de France. And here you will see that the cycling path is closed off. I'll have to take a right hand turn, and take another cycling path. They cannot go straight and continue at some point. Well, there's still a few several hundred meters away. More recreational cyclists further up ahead, and here you'll see the sign. People on their bikes are directed to the right. Over here you can see stuff is still closed off. Wiggle, wiggle. Have the cyclists arrived already? They're probably already past. Yeah, they move so rapidly. For a moment I thought I heard propellers. Was looking to see if I could find the Dash 8 from the Coast Guard, but I probably misheard. This is KLM flight 765 arriving from Bonn Air, 8 hours 47 minutes on the way. This is the PH AOC, as in what the fuck? Seems that we've crossed through 500 likes. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to hear you guys are enjoying the show, and I hope everybody is. If you haven't already, consider adding to the likes. It will really help to bring in more people in the future and help the channel grow. We're waiting for the KLM Orange Pride, which is approaching from the west. KLM flight 622, new. Which one is it? Which one is it? It's already closer by. 682, arriving from Vancouver. That's it. Dash 8 is taking off right now. I do see something in the sky taking off in the distance. Is that it? I think. No, that's not it. It also probably wasn't the Dash 8 then that I was hearing. Definitely sounded closer by. Still, I thought I heard propellers. In other news, says Sander, KLM cargo building is going away, just like the Nata building. Don't know yet when, but it's going to happen. May, thank you so much for the news, and thank you for the super chat, but you really didn't have to use a super chat to get that message across, mate. So, more buildings getting torn down over at the Polderbaan area. We'll see it soon enough. If it is going to happen, we're sure to know that we'll sure notice. KLM cargo going away. What is coming back in return for it? Aprons for cargo airplanes, or are they going to keep those on the south side? I'm no longer sure. Gary in Amsterdam is also back. He has also survived the heat wave thus far. Good to have you back, mate. Hope all is well. Dash 8 into 2 to depart, says Wolfgang. Think I am seeing it. Yep. That's it, alright. Should be coming this way for another coastal patrol. Guy is tuning in from Luxembourg. Welcome back, Guy. Hope all is well. A bigger cargo building even. Oh. Sander says there's going to come a side pier of Pier A for European flights. More piers. Shamrock, in the meantime, arriving from Dublin. Shamrock flight 604. Nice carrying cabin in the back. A little hump. And thank you, I love KLM, for the kind words. Hey man, love your stream. Groetjes from Dordrecht. Greetings back to Dordrecht from Schiphol. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi. It isn't mandatory to say hi, but it is always appreciated when our viewers introduce themselves and where they're from. But feel free to stay quiet and just watch the stream. If you have a question, don't be shy and make sure to ask it. Quite a few people are watching, but that should not deter you from asking any questions. Together we know quite a lot. I will happily try to answer any questions you might be having. Let's see, 2 twinkling lights, one also with a recognizable airplane attached to it. KLM flight 1830 here in the foreground, and behind it is 1406, also KLM, arriving from Paris. That's a 737, and over here we have an Embraer 175. Arie, goedemorgen. Goedemiddag. Ruben, tuning in from Den Bosch. Good afternoon. Life is HN. Tuning in from Bad Hoeverdorp, which is right around the corner. I'm standing just south of, well, southwest. Well, mostly west. Bad Hoeverdorp. When you follow the road, that these cars are... well, not the cars in the background, but the car here in the foreground. If you follow the road over there, you'll end up in Bad Hoeverdorp. It's between us and the Kaagbaan, more or less. Really close by. Right, the orange Pride is flying base. I'm already trying to see if I can spot it. Not able to see it yet. Adries, goedemiddag. Right, let's do a little bit of hunting. Got a visual on the orange Pride. Where do I see it? There it is. BVA Orange Pride is returning from Vancouver, Canada today, serving flight 682. "400 times of digital zoom, absolute bonkers and overkill. But this is the top end of optical zoom, so a little bit of moderate use of digital zoom does allow us to see a bit more details, such as the gear extending. is. The Orange Pride is now number 10 on Flight Radar, tracked by 475 people. Rookie numbers, we have almost double the viewers. Surely we can get it in the top 5. The Orange Pride is flying for 8 hours and 49 minutes on its flight back from Vancouver. (18 years old, first flight January 2008. Another 777 is turning in, KLM Flight 744, also from KLM, returning from Lima in Peru. There's a little bit of crosswind. Now we can see that the Orange Pride is crabbing a little. KLM Flight 744, arriving from Lima in Peru, creeping up behind the Orange Pride. More triples coming overhead, outbound. Think it's triple, cargo triple. Here it is, PHBVA Orange Pride. Right at the top end of optical zoom. No more pixelated distortion. And we were able to make the Orange Pride number 4. Well done, people, well done. Absolutely lovely. Now, if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around for another just under half an hour, because 10 minutes or so to 1, the Emirates A380 is also going to be landing here. Let's have a quick look at its current ETA while we watch the Orange Pride in the distance. Let me open up Flight Radar just quickly. We can already see that the Emirates A380 is approaching the Netherlands, Dutch airspace. You can see it on the right. Its ETA right now is set to be 5 minutes to 1. So with a little bit of luck, it should get assigned to the right runway, namely the Polderbaan. Fingers crossed, we'll learn what runway it's going to be landing on once it enters Dutch airspace, and we can look on Omgevingsinfo Schiphol, which I'm sure you guys will do. This is KLM Flight 744, another triple. It's double triple time. This one is arriving from Lima in Peru. Captain Showboat is doing a wheelie. Boom, only now does the nose gear touch down. Razor 013 and Irv, good to see you both. Perfect timing if you just were in time to see the Orange Pride. Though if you only joined us just now, you may have missed the 3 747s that landed here on the Polderbaan earlier in the show. You should still be in time for the Emirates A380 if you stick around. Should be here, as we could see just now, in just under 30 minutes. Mr. Delu asks why after 1 o'clock. After 1 o'clock, the center runway is going to open up as secondary runway for arrivals, and that means that everything arriving from the east, and Orange Pride, the Emirates A380 is arriving from the east after all, should be going to the center runway. Before 1 o'clock, only the Polderbaan is going to be open for arrivals. So that means until 1 o'clock, it doesn't matter if the airplanes arriving are coming in from the east or from the west. They will be assigned to the only runway open for arrivals, namely this runway, the Polderbaan. From 1 o'clock, if the A380 arrives here after 1 o'clock, it's going to be assigned to the center runway, almost certainly. So that's why it's important that the A380 arrives here before 1, which it is expected to do. So if all is well, mind you, it is of course close to 1 o'clock, so it might well be assigned to the wrong runway still. But on paper, we should be good. Is that the A350 Finnair going back to bloody Helsinki? I think it is. Outbound A350. Saw this one land as I was setting up here. Standard livery. A350 900 going back to bloody Helsinki in Finland. Lovely machine. Honda has to go. Thank you so much for joining, Honda. Enjoy the rest of your day and we'll see you soon. Yeah, Flores is warning me. We're talking about Schiphol ATC here, boy. Be careful, you're absolutely right. It ain't over till the fat lady sings. And we still aren't sure if the fat lady is coming to this runway or if it's going to center. With ATC, you never know. Hey, Maria says it's been assigned to the Polderbaan. So there you go, Flores. We can rest assured that it should be coming here. Everybody can breathe normally again and brace for the A380, which is expected to come near. What's that? Cameras and fences. I got a little distracted from a truck which is carrying fences and apparently mobile cameras or something. Were those cameras or were those lights? I'm not sure. Speaking of cameras, I'm looking behind me. Is that additional red, white contraption still there? I think it is. That contraption that looks for drones. Not this one. Is there another one over there? I don't think there is. So then it was the one further down the runway. No? Oh, no, that's not it. That small one. Okay, so the drone warning, the mobile drone warning unit seems to have gone. That no longer seems to be present here. Interesting. Lights and cameras to protect a building site, says Hans. Either that or a festival. Not sure when the next festival here on the Floriade terrain is taking place. Maxime speculates they are bringing equipment for the AMS Live Spotting Festival. Gary, more realistically probably, planning to block more plane spotting areas, I suppose. Yeah. What's sad is that I think Gary's answer is more likely than Maxime's. Nah, there's probably a festival in the making here at the Floriade terrain. Mud run or DEFCON type of thingy. I'm not sure. The wide bodies are back. This is Delta Airlines Flight 164 arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's an A330neo and behind it should be another wide body. Visible at the 8 o'clock. That's KLM Flight 760 arriving from San Jose. That's a 777-200. Delta Airlines Flight 164 arriving from Minneapolis, 7 hours and 39 minutes on the way. It's a 4-year-old machine, first flight March 2022, the November 416 Delta X-Ray. Hey, that's nice, Irv. Irv mentions that there is a 757 underway from Reykjavik, Iceland. Nice. Is it a special livery by any chance, or is it the default old standard livery in orange and dark blue? Either one works for me. I love the machine and I love the old livery from Iceland Air. Looking so much better than I think the current one does. Very sterile. Alright. 777-200 in the foreground. Indigo Dreamliner behind it. Tepa Portugal turning in from the left at some point. It was hard to gauge where these airplanes are at in the sky based on what you see on flight radar. It's probably still too far out. That's okay. Lovely little glide slope shot. KLM Flight 670 is arriving from San Jose. 777-200, 9 hours 51 minutes on the way. It's Papa Hotel, Bravo, Quebec, Golf. 22 years old already. First flight April 2004. Wow. Here I thought my car was old, being from October 2005, but this triple is even older than that. Sounds different from when the A3, from when the Orange Pride passed by, doesn't it? 200s have different engines and they don't have that howl that you hear when a 300 or a freighter passes by. Also a low growl on departures that you don't hear with the 300s and the freighters. Distinctly different sounds. Are all the specials out of commission already, Wolfgang? I know that a few were, but I'm not sure that they all are. Might well be the case. Such a shame. Those were some of the prettiest special liveries I've ever seen. The Iceland Air 757. There was the Aurora and there was also a bluer one with glaciers, or was the Aurora the blue one? There was a green one and there was a blue one. Absolutely lovely. And then there was the what was it? 80 years independence or 100 years independence, which looked like the standard livery but just a bit more blue. Anyway, I'm digressing. Indigo up next, flight 21, operated by Norse, arriving from Mumbai in India, 8 hours, 54 minutes on the way. The Lima November Foxtrot, November Charlie. Look for the deflects of the wingtips. When the spoilers come up, boom, those wingtips drop. An 8-year-old machine, first flight May 2018. It's 12:38 and the A380 is approaching Schiphol. Coming to this runway, the Polderbaan. What a nice little way, nice little treat. I'm hearing traffic overhead once again. I'm looking up to see if I can spot a contrail, but not seeing a thing. Still not seeing a thing. Tapa Portugal up next. Flight 668 A320neo, arriving from Lisbon. 2 hours 25 minutes on the way. Nominal flight duration, I think 2.5 hours. It's around average, I think. Charlie Sierra Tango Victor Charlie, already 7 years old. First flight was in April 2019. The wind just keeps pounding on the umbrella that is supposed to be keeping my laptop tent in the shade. Once again it has turned around, so I'll need to fixate that a bit more sturdily. KLM Embraer 190 from Hamburg, flight 1754 coming this way. Let me see if I can turn around the umbrella a little bit. Tighten it a bit more. I have enough strength, it's just that I don't want to break the plastic. Another half turn added. See if that secures it sufficiently. Thank God for the wind indeed, eh? Not sure what it was like in Amsterdam yesterday, but in the coastal areas where I live it was cool for most of the day. 28, relatively cool I should say. So I was able to cool the house already from the morning. Looking to the west, you could see lightning over the North Sea, the Gulf of Yorkshire, and then in the late afternoon you could see it arriving from the south and from the east. And apparently there's a 747 taking off from 18 left. Don't see anything emanating from the ground or from behind trees just yet. We can hold for a few moments. Slowly but surely lot is approaching. Lot flight 263 and Embraer 195 arriving from Warsaw. Always a lot to see here at Schiphol Airport, including a Cargolux 747 that is supposedly be taking off from 18 left, but not seeing it, so let's go for the lot instead. that it? Surely not. Maybe the cheater, a cheater on cheater's lane? It was definitely better than the day before when it was hot in the sun, but we had a massive storm at night. Yeah, last night definitely big thunderstorm, thunder shower around 4. Woke me up, but it did cool things down nicely. Though now that everything is still is once again locked after going out for streaming, I imagine that once I get home again, everything will have warmed up again. But at least when you open up the windows, cool air will seep in. This is KLM flight 1502, arriving from Madrid. One of the A321neos from KLM. John wonders if the AMS wildlife survived the heat. Well, that's a good question, John. I haven't been able to answer that yet. Or maybe in a way we are able to answer it, because I haven't seen any wildlife here yet. No aquatic birds in the canal, period. Which begs the question, where have they gone? Are they still alive? I suspect they are, but I think they're good at hiding and keeping cool when the sun is out in the summer. Either that, or they've taken a vacation break and are now chilling in the north. Headed for the north, where it is still cooler. Right, it's time for 737s. A regular one and a MAX 8. After that, an Embraer 175. No, 2 Embraer 175s, and then the Emirates A380. A380 is passing Purmerend to the northeast. To the north, I should say, more rather. Question is, are we able to see it? Apparently the Cargolux 747 has taken off. I'm not able to see it anywhere. I am able to see the A380 however. Rather easily actually. There it is already. Right, I was initially planning on quitting and leaving for home after the A380 would have landed, but with the Iceland Air 757 approaching Schiphol, I'm going to stick around for it. A380s are all well and good, but 757s we don't get to see that regularly. That's definitely one of those airplanes that I'll happily make an exception for and stay around a bit longer for. I also see that there's a bizjet approaching over the Gulf of Yorkshire a bit to the south, arriving from Luton, and I wonder where that is going to be going to, if it's going to be landing on runway 22 or if it maybe is landing on the Polderbaan. We've seen that before, bizjets landing on the Polderbaan, not very regularly, but it would be nice. Emirates A380 is slowly but surely turning in. Right now, number 6 on flight radar, tracked by 661 people. Last time I checked, we had more viewers than that. Surely we can get it in the top 5. Right, it's time to get that pixelated zoom in again, because I want to show you the gears deploying. They're still out, they're still in, but once they do start to deploy, you'll see a typical pattern that most of you will have already seen a few times before. The process where the outer gear comes out first, locks in place, then the inner gear starts coming out, locks in place, and then all the hatches will close again. Assigned runway for the busiest, it's going to the Oostbaan runway 22, so might still pass overhead over here. Already Emirates now number 5, 738 people are tracking it. Can we get more? Yes, we can. We still have a bit more viewers than that, just a few. 400 times digital zoom will give you this. That's overkill, but a little bit more moderation is enough to see the hatches open and the outer gear coming out. Once that locks in place, the inner main gear will also start expanding, getting out. That's happening right now. Once everything is locked in place, the hatches are going to close, and gear-wise, this machine will be ready for the landing. There you go. Emirates Flight 147 arrival from Dubai. 6 hours and 31 minutes on the way according to Flight Radar, and that is exactly what it usually averages. 6.5 hours. This is the Alpha 6 Echo Echo India. 13 years old, first flight January 2013. And I see we have crossed through 600 likes according to Maria and Paul. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. Your likes really help to bring in more viewers in the future. I'm doing the best I can, and I'm happy to hear you guys are enjoying. If you are enjoying the show and you haven't dropped a like yet, consider adding to the likes if you want to help the channel grow. Emirates Flight 147 arrival from Dubai. And also Iceland Air Flight 500 with a 757 coming in minutes from now. That will be the last airplane for today's show. But if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around for a few more minutes after the A380 has touched down, because we'll see Iceland Air with a 757 in their old standard livery. Two things that you don't see that much anymore. All the 76s have been repainted to that sterile blue and white. This is still the white with dark blue and orange. 757s as well. We don't get to see those very regularly here at Schiphol Airport, unfortunately. Emirates A380. Our members are already using a ribbon tail as custom emoji for Emirates. Emirates is still in the process of updating those airplanes. They have a big fleet, so it will take a long time before all of them will be equipped with the ribbon tail, but our members are already enjoying the ribbon tail for how long already? It was definitely one of the first custom emojis, so 3 years already? Retro Transavia also behind Emirates, is that so? Oh yeah, Transavia Retro, right behind this one. I didn't even see that. That's weird, because normally Transavia Retro should show on my flight radar. Need to look into that. I was blissfully unaware of the fact that Transavia Retro was following the Emirates A380. Huh, that's weird. Because I have a special filter especially for it. So normally when it is flying, when it is airborne, I should see it on flight radar on my computer. The screen on screen, so to speak. There's a reverser. Quite clearly audible. Operator has to go. Thanks for joining, mate. See you in a week. Are still used. Only now quietly slowing down. Is it me or is the water level high over here? Just noticed it, but and my umbrella once again has been blown to the side. Let's quickly turn that a little back. Just a few more minutes, come on. The clamp is holding on to for dear life to the camping table leg. It should be the other way around. Now the wind is still grabbing it a bit more than would be the case if it was turned into the wind. It's facing the wind with the wrong end, which is why it is constantly being blown backwards. Anyway, this is the Transavia Retro. Flight 5764 arrived from Girona in Italy with that cute boop the snoot snooty. I love this view. Papa Hotel Yankee Hotel Delta turning 1 next month. What a wonderful finale of the show with the Emirates A380 and now Retro Transavia, and in a few moments, well, Iceland Air. I'm inclined to call that a retro livery as well. And a 757. Hey Amelie, good to see you again. Just in time for the last minutes. And Sarah as well. Good to see you, Sarah. Welcome back. So, three 747s, the Orange Pride, the Emirates A380, the Retro Transavia, and in a few moments from now, Iceland Air 757. Bloody amazing. What a finale. Parallel arrivals have begun. It's 4-1. So by the time these airplanes that are now on the glide slope to the central runway will touch down, it will have been 1 o'clock. Girona is Italy, not Spain. Spain, not Italy. What did I confuse it with then? Anyway. Next up will be KLM Flight 751, arriving from Guayaquil. Guayaquil, let me see, which is a port in Ecuador. We can still use it. We can still use it. And after that, the 757, the last airplane of today's show, Iceland Air in their standard livery, the old standard livery. Lovely machine. Lovely machine, lovely livery. Penultimate airplane, KLM Flight 751, arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. 7879 Dreamliner, 10 hours and 37 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Bravo Hotel Echo. Well, Sarah is celebrating 31 months of membership. That's 2.5 years and a month. 2 years and 7 months of membership, 31 months. A party every time, boys, she writes. Well, thank you so much for the kind words, Sarah. I'm happy to hear you are still enjoying the streams. I hope that is going to continue to be like that for a long time to come. It's always a pleasure to have you in our midst. And even if you were not coming back as a member, but as a regular recurring visitor, you're always welcome here. Thank you for the long-lasting support, Sarah, and thank you for the kind words. Also, massive big thanks to Peter van Steen for a super chat you really didn't have to use to get that message across. Thanks for the gezellige stream, which is Dutch for yeah, gezellig. That's that word again that doesn't have a good proper actual translation in English. There are some terms you can use to approach it, but it was fun and cozy and it was nice. You're welcome, Peter. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm happy to hear you enjoyed it. You really didn't have to use a super chat for that message though, mate. Thank you so much. Also, a party for Duns. Duns is a member for 15 months and he writes the Dutch word for party, feestje. Thank you so much for the ongoing support, Duns. Hope that everything in the lounge is still to your satisfaction. If that's not the case, do let me know. Iceland Air 500, last airplane of the show, arriving from Iceland, Reykjavik. Old school sounds, old school livery, old school machine. Icing on the cake. Right. It is time to end now, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining me here. Hopefully I will see you again in good health in the next one. Keep your head cool and stay in the shade. If you do go out, wear sunscreen. I will see you all in the next one. A massive big thanks for joining me here today. I had a blast. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Make sure to leave a like on your way out if you haven't already. If you did enjoy the show. A massive big thanks for all the support, for all the likes, but also for the many gifted memberships again. I hope that everybody who received a gifted membership today has already said or will still say thank you to the gifter. Use those custom emojis in honor of the gifter. Massive big thanks for everybody who became a member themselves. Massive big thanks for all the super chats and the super stickers, any PayPal donations and merch shop purchases that may have happened in the meantime. Mods also, once again, thank you so much for keeping the chat friendly and accessible to all. You guys rock and are all what makes this channel so great. I thank you and I see you again in the next one. Take care and see you soon, guys. Bye for now.